look at calculating and sequencing decimals. For whole numbers, we're used to seeing the number of digits and figuring out which numbers are biggest or smallest. The more digits, the bigger the number. But it's not quite the same for decimals, and it's easy to make mistakes if you rely on the same rule. Let's go back and think about place value for a second. We know this column on the left of the decimal place is the ones. The column on the right of the decimal place is the tenths. A 1 in this column means 1/10. The next is hundredths. The third column is thousandths, or 1/1000. These are small fractions of 1. Let's look at three numbers. Which is the largest and which is the smallest? 0.1, 0.10, or 0.1000. If you're using the old rule, you might be counting how many digits there are. You might think that 0.1000 is the largest number. Actually, they're all the same. The noughts after the last value don't change at all. So 0.1 is the same as 0.10 and 0.1000. Let's try with some different numbers. Which is bigger, 0.3 or 0.29? Even though 0.29 has more digits, it's smaller. You can find out which number is larger by looking at the leftmost digit, which is not a nought. So let's compare. The ones column are both 0. The tenths column, 1 is 3 and 1 is 2. Therefore, the higher number, 3, is bigger. Doesn't matter what comes after that, 3 is bigger than 2. If we see 30 and 29, we would recognise that 30 is bigger. And it's just the same really, but with much smaller numbers. Let's try that method on more numbers. 0.19, 3.22, 2.98, 0.95. Let's line them up vertically and compare, one column at a time to put them in order from highest to lowest. Let's start with the ones, 0, 3, 2, 0. So the number beginning with 3 is the highest and the number beginning with 2 is the second highest. The other two say 0, so we have to keep looking at more columns to find out which is the highest. Tenths, 1 and 9. Well, 9 is the highest. So the third highest number is 0.95 and the lowest number is 0.19. Now let's try sorting numbers from lowest to highest. 0.008, 0.080, 0.102. It's easy to get confused by taking a quick look here and saying it's probably the number with the 8 in it. 8 is a fairly high number, but you'd be wrong. Wrong. Let's look at the column method. Line them up vertically and start from left to right. One column, they all say 0. Tenths column, 0, 0, 1. Well, we know which is the highest number, 0.102. But we don't know which one is the lowest, so we need to keep going to the hundredths column to compare 0.008 and 0.080. 0.8, so 0 is lowest, therefore 0.008 is our lowest number, then 0.080, then 0.102. Sorted. Let's compare those last two again. 0.008 and 0080. It might be helpful to say them in full words. 0.080 is 8 hundredths, or 8 over 100. This is actually a much larger number. Thanks for watching.